Is going on, everybody, and welcome to today's video with me, your friend neighborhood pirate Wardwicks. And in today's video we're going to be going over player owned ports, or as most people like to call it, ports. So let's dive right in there. Okay, and to start doing the ports minigame itself, you will need level 90 in at least one of these skills, which is agility, construction, cooking, divination, dungeoneering, fishing, herblore, hunter, prayer, runecrafting, slayer, or thieving. And the more of them that you get, the more content is unlocked in ports. But to just start ports, start sending out your ships and whatnot, you need at least level 90 in one of these skills. And then the more skills you unlock, the more content in ports you will be able to get. Now, before level 90, there is actually one piece of content you can do inside of ports, which is Meg. This is a weekly thing that you can do, and you can help her, and you can get some experience. So basically, all you'll do is you'll just talk to her. Now, I just finished my week here, so I got a chest. Inside the chest, I got some Slayer lamp, so I got 34k Slayer XP. So basically, all I normally do to help her is I'll just click the help button, and then I'll just hold down one of them. I've never seen any difference between actually trying to give her a good answer and just giving her a answer. So I normally just hold down one or something and just send her off for the week, and then next week I'll just be able to pick up my reward lamp from her, and then that's basically it. So you can do that without having level 90 in any of the skills that I had said prior. That is the only piece of content that you can do inside of here without level 90 in at least one of those skills. Okay, so in the top left hand corner here, you can see a little panel that says resources on it. So these will be the resources that you're actually going for to upgrade your ships, your crew members, your stuff like that. So you'll have chimes. Now chimes you'll just get throughout the whole the whole entire port. So every different level you'll always get chimes. That's kind of like the base money. It's useful for the first bit, then after a while it just, as you can see, I have tons of it. It doesn't really isn't really used for much. Then we have bamboo, which is the starting thing. This is the first thing that you'll get when you come to ports. Then we have gunpowder, black slate, cherry wood, jade, stainless steel, terracotta, and then azure. I don't know how to say that, but that's how I'm assuming it says. These are basically your different levels. So you'll start off with bamboo, then you'll move up to gunpowder, you move up to black slate. So each one of these are easier to get than the last. So for example, bamboo is easier to get than gunpowder, which is easier to get than black slate. Also, each mission takes less time to get. So by the time you get to azure, this is basically the end content at the current time of ports, unless they update ports more. This takes the most amount of time, is the hardest to get, but also gives you the greatest rewards. Then there's also these trade goods here. As you can see, there's ancient bones, there is plate, there is spices, liqueur, chai, eastern pearls, and then koi scales. So the ancient bones here are used to make scrimshaws. The plate is used to make the tetsu armor. Spices are used to make rocktail soup. The liqueur is used to make the death lotus. The chai is used to make the sea singer armor. The eastern pearls are used to make a ring, I believe it is. And then the scales here are used to make the cape. The ring and the cape aren't that good, but there's still something to get from here. But the plate, the liquor, and the chai here, these make the tetsu, death lotus, and sea singer armors, as I had gone over. So these are some of the best armors that you can get in the game when it comes to tanking. These are not the best type of armor, but they are fairly decent to get, and they are not too hard to get. They do take some time to get from ports, but you can make a tradable version and a non-tradable version. So even once you've made the tradable version, it's still worth coming back here and just getting these resources. So you make the tradable version and sell those off to people who haven't gotten to the untradable version yet. And then here you can see the different scrimshaws that you can make. These are using the ancient bones. So these scrimshaws, again, you can make a superior version, which lasts longer, but you can't sell them, and then you can make the tradable version, which lasts not as long, but you can sell them. Now, as you can see, some of these are highlighted, and some of these are locked. Why they're locked is because I haven't actually gotten the scroll parts for them, which I will show you now. Here, as you can see, for Tetsu, Death Lotus, and Sea Singer, I have all these scrolls fully unlocked. Same with the others here, and for 3 of the scrimshaws I have them unlocked, but for the other ones I do not have them unlocked. So what you want to do is you want to pick, let's say, either Tetsu, Death Lotus, or Sea Singer if you're going for the armors, or if you're just going for the scrimshaws. Pick the one that you want to go for. Let's say I want to get Tetsu. Say I'm going to get full Tetsu, and then you will click on it and you'll tell the game, hey, I want to focus on that scroll. For example, here I'm working on the magic scrimshaw. I've told the game I want to focus on that scroll. So if I get a scroll mission, that is the scroll that the game will, if you successfully do it, you'll get one of the 4 pieces to that scroll. So this is one thing that you do want to do, is go into your little port management cogs here and tell the game which scroll you want to get. If you don't do that, then you'll just get a random scroll. It could be just one of any of these. So you do want to tell it, hey, I want to get, let's say, the Tetsu helm. So you click on this one and then you'll say, hey, give me scrolls that'll work towards the Tetsu helm, and then that is what the game, when you do get a voyage that gives you a scroll piece, that is what the game will work towards, is that Tetsu helm that you've told it to work towards. Okay, so now that we've gone over the rewards and the basic of how to use at least tradable goods, now we're going to go over actually doing ports and sending out ships and stuff. So now I'm going to be doing my things here on the steel, but it'll be the same general concept for every method, so I'm just going to be using this. So now I'm going to be very easily able to get 100%, as I have people that are from the last area, so from the Azure area, and I'm only doing steel, right? I'm doing 2 levels below, because I'm trying to just get some steel to be able to upgrade my ports with. So, but for the most part, it'll be the exact same on how this works. So we'll have our ship here. Now at the beginning, you'll have 1 ship, and then you'll unlock ships from there. So you have to start off with 1 ship, then 2 ships, and 3 ships, and 4 ships. You'll unlock it through playing this little mini game here. So you'll have your ship open like this. You'll say view voyage. Now you'll have your voyages. Now you want to do your special voyage every day, as these will be the best ones to do. So I'm going to pick which one I want to do here. Okay, so I'm going to choose this one. This one gives me 8 ancient bones, saying that I completed. So this is the one I'm going to want to go with. So I'm going to click edit ship. I'm going to have it highlighted. So I'm going to actually click on it. As you can see, it is highlighted compared to the other ones. Now you can see I have the first one highlighted. Now I have this one. So I'm going to click edit ship. And I'm going to do this little plus sign here, which is underneath crew, and then I'm going to open it up. Now this is your crew panel. Now on the left hand side here, you have your different captains. Now mine are level 10, but obviously when you start out, they won't be. Same with all your people here. You'll have different people, but they're all color coded. So people who are colored red give you like bonuses to combat. The people who are colored green give you morale, and the people who are colored blue will give you seafaring. There'll be different like images for each stage, but they'll be based on that general track. Now there'll also be people like this who are colored, for example, blue, but they give me morale and combat. That's just one of the things you're gonna have to learn, is that, for example, this one is a Azure Golem, so this one gives me a bit in both morale and combat, but if you see, it's level 10, and if I show you someone else from that same region who's level 10, it gives me 4,200 in morale. This one only gives me 1,800 in morale. So this is a kind of like an in-between one. It gives you some attack and some morale, but just doing morale or just doing attack is better than doing this one. This is just something that you'll have to just kind of feel out as you play, but for the most part, you'll only just use the people who give you combat or morale or seafaring. So now I'm going to want to actually get my morale and my seafaring here up to 100 each. So I'm going to say, okay, my current ship has a captain. He has fairly good stats. Okay, I'm going to send him. And my crew are blue, 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 and blue, so they're all giving me seafaring. Now my seafaring's at max, but my morale's only at 41%. So I'm going to take one of my green guys over here, as they give me morale, and just replace one of the blue guys with the green guys. Now I have 97% in seafaring, but only 63% in morale. So I can take another one, put another morale up there, and take one seafaring off. Now I have less seafaring than I do morale, but my success rate here has gone up to 67%. Before, it was at 63%, because it's tied with the lowest number between the 2 of these here. So as you can see, now that it moves up to this, I now have 76% because my seafaring is at 76%. Okay, so now from here, now that we have our crew, our captain, and our 5 crew members worked out, we want to close this little panel here by clicking this little minus button here, and we want to see here, we have these 5 different little bubbles here. Each one of those you can upgrade stuff and get better stuff for your ship. So as you can see here, I have the figurehead of the spires. Now this is because this is the last level stuff. This is what I have on it, but you will have something different as you start, but you'll just have what you have, so just go with that. The ones that you can actually highlight is the ones you can click on, and will go highlighted is the ones that you can use. So here I have a morale and a seafaring figurehead, so I'm good with that. So now I'm going to move over to this next one, deck item 1. So now I have one that gives me 2,000 morale here, but I have morale but I don't have seafaring. So let's try putting on a seafaring one. We click on that, and now you can see my success rate goes to 74. So I'm going to go back to the morale. Again with the next one, item 2, I have morale again, so I'm not going to touch it as we know what happened last time. Now I'm going to go down here to the hull, and I'm going to see how this is looking. This is my one that gives me a bit for each. This is the one I'm going to leave on here. And then we have the rudder. Now the rudder is just basically based on speed. This will just make your missions a little bit shorter. As you can see, the duration of this mission here that I'm about to partake in is 16 hours and 51 minutes. So honestly, you can just basically do ports once a day at the higher levels. At the beginning levels, you do it once every about 40 minutes to an hour. At the higher levels, you'll just be doing it once a day. Okay, so now that I have edited my crew and my ship, I have 76% success rate. Now I can go, if I want to, go to the voyage list and go to add effect. Now in add effect, you can add stuff, for example, like that makes your ship go faster. It has 10% more morale, combat, seafaring, protects the crew. Now, every so often, if your success rate is just too low, a crew member can die, but that's very, very rare that that'll ever happen. You can have another thing that gives your crew 50% more XP, or another one that gives you 10% more reward. So if you find one that you're like, wow, that has a really nice reward to it, then you can use this and get even more points on it. Now, as you can see, I only have one of the reward ones and 2 of the crew ones, so I'm not going to use any of this on this voyage. So now I'm going to go back to edit ship, and I'm going to click start voyage, and then I'm going to click confirm, and now that voyage has gone on its way, and it'll come back in 16 hours and 55 minutes. Basically, for the success rate, you just want to get it over as high over 50 as possible, as close to 100, but if it's below 50, then you basically, at 50%, if you think about it, it's a coin flip. You can either land heads or tails, and you'll win half the time, you'll lose half the time. But the higher percentage up you go from that, the better chance you have of actually successfully doing the voyage and getting the resources from it. So now you might be wondering, if you're doing this with me, hey, I only have a couple of crew member. I don't have, let's say, like a full set of red, blue, or green yet, right? So what you want to do is, once you have a little bit of money here, you want to go to this little crew roster icon, the middle one of the 6 here, the middle top here. Click on this, and now you'll see this crew roster. This here you can buy crew members from. As you can see here, your crew, it's full. I have a full crew list here, plus I have full captains, but when you start, you would not. So the first one here will be a captain. Now, of course, my guys' stats here will be better, as I'm in the last area, than at the beginning, but right, just go with it, whatever level people that you get at the level that you're currently doing. So as the top one here will be a captain. So if you need a captain, then you can recruit a captain for however much it will cost you. And then you have the crew members themselves. Now, these can be, you basically just have to buy around what you need and what you can afford. As you can see here, this one here will want 6,500 chimes, and then 750 of this one here, which name I can't remember, terracotta, if I was wanting to get it. But as I'm in the Azure region, I wouldn't want to get it. But if you need someone like this, then I could get the person, but I have better people, so I'm not going to. But that's basically how it works, is that you just look at the 3 people here, you say, do I want this one, or this one? If you say no, then you can click this little button in the top corner here and re-roll it. Now there's a new person here. Now, do I want this person? No. Reroll, do I want this person? Now this person is a level 1. When you purchase somebody, they will be level 1, and then they can go up to level 10. So as you can see here, there's this person here. He's a green one, so he'll use morale. So he is 2,100 morale. But if you see my level 10 guy here, he's 4,200 morale. So with the better levels of your people, the more, the better their actual trait that they're in will be. And this works the same with the captain. As you can see here, I have a captain for hire that has 350 morale, 350 seafaring, 350 speed, and then 700 combat. So it's a captain that is mainly based on combat. But as you can see here, I have a level 9 captain who has 2,000 morale, 1,000 combat, 1,100 seafaring, seafaring, and then 685 speed. So basically what the captains is, each day you'll have a new role at a captain, and there are captains that are better, just like base stat-wise than other captains. This one here is a fairly meh captain. It's like an okay captain to start off with, but at the later levels it's a really bad starting captain. You want to try and check your captain every day to see if you have a captain with very good stats to it, and if you do get that kind of captain, then buy it. As you can see here, this is level 9 captain, and it has better stats. But if I go to my level 10 captain over here, this is one that I got from like while going through, and I never was able to replace it. I haven't been able to replace it yet. It's level 10. It only has 400 morale, 360 seafaring, 480 speed, and then 1000 combat. So it's not really far off from this person at all. So you want to be replacing your captains until you get to the last area, and then basically just every day check the captains and see if you can get a better base captain, and then level them up through the like setting out ports every day, setting out your ships every day, and then they'll gain XP. Same with the crew members, and the more XP they gain, the higher their level will be. Level cap is 10, and at level 10, then they'll hit their like the best that they can possibly be. Now you also have different buildings that you can upgrade. These will give you, for example, if you click on the building little thing here, which is the hammer and the wrench here, different upgrades. So for example, now here I'm at the bar. Now I'm going to get the best bar that you can get here. This gives you a 7% chance of attracting higher quality captains and a 5% bonus chance of attracting adventurers. So I'm going to click build here, and then the bar here is going to change its image here, and that'll be the max level. It'll be like this level here, and then I can move on from here. So as you can see, you will actually have to like go up stage by stage by stage by stage, but each building gives a different benefit. So for example, the bar will give you, as I said, better captains and better people like that. Then we move over to the office here. This unlocks additional ship slots. Then you move over to the workshop. Now this is a very important building because this is actually where you make your armor, your like different things like that. So this is a very important spot here. Now all you really need is the refined workshop. The renovated workshop all that gives you some bonus XP, but the refined workshop, this is a really good one because then you'll get a bank chest here, plus you'll be able to make the different things. Then moving over here to the lodging, this provides like a 5% bonus to attracting crew, stuff like that. So each like thing here, this one here, the shipwright, gives like better bonuses to your ships. So each one here gives you better stats towards your ship, towards your crew, towards what you can do in here. So you do want to keep an eye out for these and basically try to set yourself a goal to unlock the highest tier of each building, as these buildings will come out, like these buildings are very, very good to get up. Now there's also these statues out here. These statues are also very nice as they give you a higher chance. For example, I have the Jade statue. This gives me, each different level gives me a better chance of getting this. So I have Jade because I want to receive trade goods. But for example, the map tablet here has a chance for you to get clue voyages. So you'll have to go through this and see which one you like more. But me personally, I want to get more trade goods, as I like just basically doing this and making some money off of it, and trade goods are what actually makes you the money. So I have, for example, here the Jade statues, each one giving at stage 1 I get 4%, then 2 7%, 3 9%, and 4 10%. And then this is a increased chance of receiving trade good voyages. So each time each different day, each reset, I'll have a 10% better chance of receiving a trade voyage. And then here we have these last little pillars here. These pillars here are located just by your ships here. These give you a better chance of getting the different adventurers. So basically, the adventurers have kind of quests to them. Each adventurer is tied in with a skill, and they have little quests with them that you can do and unlock certain things from. Then for the last building here, we have the portal. This is just purely cosmetic, so you can get this if you'd like, but it's just purely cosmetic, so it won't actually help increase any stats or anything like that. So for example, this right here in the special voyage is a story mission. You can see that because it has the book there. This is for the occultist, which you unlock after having level 90 runecrafting. So each level 90 has its own person for it. For example, runecrafting has the occultist. So this is a story mission. These missions will help progress the story of the occultist. Each one has its own story mission, and then at the end of each mission you get some sort of bonus. For example, after completing all of the 6 parts to the occultist mission here, you'll get the like the thing over with, plus you'll get 25 chai. So each one is good to get done, as it'll give you like a good kind of boost of stuff at the end of its like each mission. It'll give you some sort of trade good or something like that that'll help progress your port. Then next we have the visitors list. So for this you can see here I have the biologist and the occultist. These are the people that I mentioned that have a quest storyline to them. Then we have your captain for hire. This will show you if you've bought the captain, then it will not be there, and if you haven't, then the captain will be there. Then we have a black market trader, but I've actually bought from him already. I had recorded this clip, but then it had failed. It had something went wrong with it, so I'm just doing it again. So there's a black market guy here. He will, for example, here, he was selling gunpowder for 400 each. It cost me X amount, and then of coins, like in like GP, and then I got X amount of gunpowder from it. And then for the last person here, we have the trader. So now for the black market dealer, he can trade not just gunpowder, but he can trade like different things depending on the day at different costs, all from the bamboo up to the azure. And then for this guy, he will trade you your trade goods. Now, he's not really worth doing. As you can see here, he's 3,000 stainless steel for a singular scale. Like for like a singular like buy of 5 scales. So it's really not worth buying stuff from this guy unless you really like need the scales for something. But it's probably, for the most part, it's probably not worth buying from this guy unless it's like a super good deal somehow. So like check it every day, but for the most part you won't actually end up buying from this guy, as it's not worth it at all. Okay, and the last thing we're going to touch on here is the random events. Now, you can get some random events instead of ports, which you'll get when your ship comes back. There's a small chance of getting a getting a random event, from that ship coming back and completing its voyage. So now there's about 6 different kinds of random events that you can get. I'm not going to go over them as I don't have any, and it could take me months to get all of them. But basically, when the ship comes back and you claim it, there'll be a dialog box that comes up and says, hey, like this person, for example, here with the barmaid here, you could, if it was her one, you could click gossip, and then you do a little mini game where you have to give like beers to the different customers inside of here. But the game will walk you through that all very much better than I could. It'll give you like a little tutorial at the beginning of every time that you do it, so it'll like show you through that way better than I could. So basically, whenever you see a little like text box pops up like, hey, you have a little random event that you can, for example, come to the barmaid here, click gossip on her, and then you'll be able to do her little random event. There are different random events. Jax will be able to explain it with the little text box, and then going through at the beginning of it, it'll tell you what to do significantly better than I can, as I've said. So these will give you those things that I mentioned earlier that you can add onto your ship that will boost its morale or its combat or stuff like that. You'll get those different things from these random events. And the actual last thing that I'll mention about here is the captain's log. This right here can teleport you to player and port. So as you can see, if I right click it and then click teleport, then it'll teleport you to just right outside the port's entrance here in Ports of Rim. Now there is one in Ports of Rim and there's one in Menefos, but we're just going to be using the Ports of Rim one as it's the easiest one to get to. So you can just walk inside here and then you'll be inside of ports. Plus you can also have this with you, and then if you click read, you can actually send out missions while not in your ports. So as you can see, I'm in my ports now, so I can't actually access it, but if I was to go outside of my port, for example, run a little bit away and then click read, then I'd be able to access it, and then I'd be actually able to send out ships and claim ships from, let's say if I was sitting inside of Runespan, I could do this. If I was out doing some Slayer tasks, I could do it there too. So I could just read this and then I could do everything I need to do. The only things that you can't, that you have to come back for is if I was to have sent out this quest here, when this voyage, when it comes back, I'll have to actually come to the ports to receive this story part here. For example, if I had sent this one out, I could just, when it comes back, click on the ship and then just click claim reward and then send out more ships. And I would just like to thank you all for watching the video. I understand that there was a lot of information in it, so if you have any questions at all about this, feel free to put it in the comment section below and I'll try to get back to you as fast as I can about it. But as I said, thank you for watching the video and hopefully it helped you.